Hi everyone, my name is Emily Palmer and welcome to my first book review. So this week I've chosen two books, Rosa by Nikki Giovanni and Henry's Freedom Box by Ellen Levine. And I chose these two books because I thought that they worked really well with each other. They're both biographies that talk about different struggles of African American people throughout American history and their lives. And I think it's very important to tell these kinds of stories to students to make them more aware of our own personal roots and how to be more charitable to others. So the first book is Rosa, which was written by Nikki Giovanni and illustrated by Brian Collier. It won both the Caldecott Medal and the Coretta Scott King Award, and the genre is biography, and the grade level is 3rd through 5th. So Rosa retells the story of Rosa Parks. It talks about her opinions and actions with the civil rights movement, as well as retells the famous story of how she refused to give up her seat on the bus. So the racist bus driver came up to her and told her, "You need to get off the bus," even though she was in an area that was meant for both Black and white Americans. And so she refused to give up her seat and was arrested. And it talks about the different movements in the civil rights movement after that, including the bus boycotts, which went on for a very long time, over a year. So my first lesson to do with this book is for 4th grade, and it focuses on social studies and reading. In this lesson, students will get into small groups of 2 or 3 and choose a notable figure of African American descent who fought for equal rights. And this could be during any part of American history. They will research this person and find information about their life, when and where they're from, what they look like, and the impact they had on the world. The students will then design a book in their groups about their figure using Book Creator. And they will include images, text boxes, everything that they think is important to teach their fellow classmates about the figure that they have chosen. The students will then present their books to the class and publish them on the Book Creator website. So in order to show this, I made a book myself about Harriet Tubman. So as you can see, it's the incredible story of Harriet Tubman. Something that I really like about this technology tool is that it has a little option to read to you, and I think this could be really helpful to students who have disabilities or English language learners to help catch different mistakes or to just listen to the information they're writing. So mine's only 3 pages, but it tells the story of Harriet Tubman and includes pictures and explains why she is such an important figure in society today. All right, going back to my second lesson, which focuses on 5th grade art and reading. So this lesson mainly focuses on Nikki Giovanni herself. So after reading through the book Rosa, I would tell the students about the importance that Giovanni played in poetry and the civil rights movement at the time. She was a wonderful advocate for equal rights, and a lot of her poetry was very famous. She was even known as the first major African American poet of her time to start speaking out about these things. So I would have the students research some of Giovanni's poetry online using themarginalian.com. Themarginalian.com is really wonderful, .org, pardon me, because some of Giovanni's poetry is not age-appropriate for 5th graders, but the Marginalian does a really good job of editing it down to only age-appropriate content for students. So they'll read through different poems and reflect on their poetry in small groups. And in those small groups, they'll also create a Google document in which they create a table with 2 columns. And one column will include their thoughts on her poetry itself, and the other will include their thoughts on why the poetry had such an impact on society, both at the time and today, why people are still talking about her now. Students will take a few minutes to also research art from the same time period and use their critical thinking skills to draw connections to Giovanni's poetry. The teacher will walk around during the small group time to ask guiding questions, check in with the students, and help them enter a space of deeper thought as they go and answer any questions that they may have. Afterwards, students will participate in a group discussion where they share their thoughts on both categories with the entire class. They can go back to their Google document to help them remember anything that they had thought of. And as an exit slip, students will draw a picture of how the poetry made them feel, or of an image that they found moving in Giovanni's poetry or in the art that they researched as well. So pretty much it can be up to the student as long as it is relevant to the lesson. So here's a picture of Nikki Giovanni and a picture of the Marginalian, as well as the link to the website. And the second book that I chose for this week's book review is Henry's Freedom Box, which is written by Ellen Levine, illustrated by Kadir Nelson, and is the winner of the Caldecott Medal as well. It's a biography as well, and the grade level is 1st through 3rd.